Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm really excited to share this video with you today because I finally got my hands on some of the premiums from Dawn Ice Cosmetics. Dawn Ice Cosmetics is an indie company that I'm not very familiar with, but they became kind of popular within the community of makeup lovers, especially indie makeup lovers. I think within the last few years, like 1 or 2 years, with especially their premium eyeshadows. And their premium eyeshadows are basically multi-chrome eyeshadows, so they are not duochromes, but they shift in like all sorts of different colors depending on the light source. I've never had one of those multi-chromes from Dawn Ice before. I've seen them floating around the internet quite a bit, but this is the first time that I actually bit the bullet and bought some for myself. They are not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. A full size of these is $18, which is pretty much what you would pay for a beautifully packaged Urban Decay Moondust eyeshadow. But that being said, they're supposedly much more complex than an Urban Decay Moondust eyeshadow would be. You can also buy them in little bundles of mini sizes, either in clamshells or in baggies. I got mine in clamshells just because I never reach for things that are in baggies. The prices of the clamshells are around, I think around $4.50 a piece, and if you buy them in a bundle, I think they were $19 or something of the sort. I had an excellent experience with the customer service of Dawn Ice Cosmetics because, first of all, my package shipped really quickly. Once again, very surprising for an indie company. And on top of that, she refunded me for the extra shipping that I had paid. Most companies and indie makeup companies have like a flat rate when they ship to international destinations, and it doesn't matter whether you order one shadow or 5, it's going to cost you the same amount of money, and most of the time it starts at the price of $15 or something. But I don't recall how much I paid for the shipping of these. It must have been something in the range of at least 10 to 13, 14 euros. And then she refunded me, I think, 7 or 8 euros because I had paid too much, which I thought was incredibly sweet of her, that she doesn't like keep the money for the extra shipping, but she actually refunds it back to you because it's an extra, you know, it's an extra step for her that she has to do, and I would never have known anyway. So I think that's really sweet, and I'm really happy that she did that. But that aside, I haven't really played much with these, to be honest with you. I had a bit of a fail with creating a look with one of these earlier, but I think that's just because I underestimated how dark it was. So I wanted to mention a couple of things that I feel like are important if you're going to work with these eyeshadows. First of all, if you want the full complexity of the eyeshadow to come to life, you need to apply them over a glitter base, or you need to fix them with, I don't know, a fixing spray, or foil them with whatever you have in your collection that's meant for foiling eyeshadows. That being said, an important point I want to make is, because a lot of these have a very dark base to them, I would highly recommend to do all of your crease work, apply the premiums dry on your lid, and only after apply them over a sticky base or wet them with a brush, because they are very dark, and if you apply them over a glitter base, they kind of like stick to the places where the glitter base is, and it looks a little bit patchy and a little bit unblended because they're so dark. So that's something I learned while applying these today. Do not apply them immediately over a glitter base because you're not going to be able to blend around them. Apply them dry, even blend them out a little bit around the edges, and then foil them where you want them to be foiled, around the center of the lid or something like that. I am going to do my swatches over a sticky base because I feel like that is the only fair way to look at the eyeshadows. Like I said, I haven't really had much experience with them before this tutorial, so I don't think this is one of my best tutorials. It is by no means one of my tutorials that I'm really proud of, but you know, it's kind of like a first impressions, and I figured I'd just let it be a first impression. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and in the second part of the video there will be swatches of these eyeshadows. So without further ado, let's jump into the tutorial. Yeah. Shall I let you in? There. Very exciting. You see your butt. I am going to put parts of it in the video with his lovely cat butt. Okay guys, so to start off I'm going to dip into my Subculture palette, and I think I am going to only dip into this shade over here, which is called Edge, because I want to apply that a little bit as an inner corner kind of detail in my crease, just because I think it looks really cool when I put it in there. Taking a little bit of Edge and then just gently going to fluff it over here for a little bit of an accent. I really like this shade. It's the most beautiful mustardy yellow ever. And for the rest of the matte shades, I'm actually going to be dipping into my Metal Matte palette from Kat Von D. So I'm going to first go into Suede over here. Suede is just a beige transition color, and I'm going to use that to connect with Dawn. And then I'm going to start working in Velour a little bit, because the shade we're going to use from Dawn today is blue. So I think I'm just going to go for like a blue smoky eye or something. Nothing too complicated, because I'm just testing these shades out now. Testing their limits. Okay, just taking the Suede shade from the Kat Von D palette and kind of working it into the crease together with the shade from Subculture. To highlight my brow bone, I am going to be dipping into Bone over here, this kind of skin color eyeshadow, which is a little bit off-white. Popping that right here. I am going to take a crease type of brush, something a little bit smaller. Let me find it someday. Oh yeah. Looks I blend. No, this is quite big. Yeah, there she is. Okay, I'm going to take this Lux Petit crease brush from Zoeva, and I'm going to dip into Velour, the really bright matte blue shade, and I'm going to start working that in the outer corner of the eye. Okay, we are by no means completely done with intensifying the outer corner, but I want to go in with the Dawn Ice Cosmetics shade just to see how much I really need to intensify in the end. So the shade I'm going to use today is, I think, from the original Premiums collection, and it is called Captivating. I'm gonna try to show you how it looks like in the clamshell, although you don't get much and I really don't want to like waste it. So this is a little bit how it looks like, and can you see a little bit in the light how it shifts? Okay, so I am going to take this shade on like a small crease type of brush, because I want to be able to apply dry and blend around a bit before I apply it wet, because I feel like these shades have a very dark base to them, and if you apply them wet immediately, you're going to have a very hard time blending around. I'm saying that because I tried it. Okay, whoa, that's pretty intense already, as it is. Imagine if I foil it. Really cool. Just take your time and apply also this shade in small increments. All of these are like really intense, so you want to take your time with them. I'm going to dip a little bit more into Velour just to blend a bit around the edge. Just like so. Why is this sticking weird? Okay, going to take the slightly bigger fluffy brush and just blend around a bit. Blend around the outer part. And then I think the shade applied already pretty intensely as it is, but I really want to try it over epoxy as well. So I'm going to take a little bit of Firenze Pixie Epoxy. I'm going to apply a very thin layer, and I'm going to concentrate that on like the lower part of the lid, so right here. because I don't want this to stick towards the crease, because it's really hard to blend around it after that. Okay, and now I'm going to take my brush again. I'm going to dip into Captivating and apply that over this sticky base. So more towards like the lower part and the center of the lid. That's pretty. Okay, this shade is really beautiful. I think I'm going to like move a little bit more in the light when we're finished with the look, but for now I'm just going to try to finish the look. So let's pop a little bit of like an inner corner highlight, and let's do something interesting for that as well. I'm going to take this gorgeous Inglot pigment in the number 54. I have used this recently on my channel as well. I think it's a gorgeous inner corner highlight. It's so pretty. At first I'm going to apply it dry, and then if necessary I'm going to wet my brush too. I'm going to wet my brush a little bit because it's not really sticking all that well without the sticky base or being applied with a wet brush. So I'm going to apply that with a wet brush now. It's going to apply really intensely. Now I'm going to tightline my lashes, and I'm going to use this Urban Decay pencil in the shade Accuse. So I'm just going to push that right here. For the lower lash line, I'm actually going to be applying this super dark teal shade here from the Subculture palette, which is called Axis. And as a basis for that, I'm going to take the Urban Decay Essence Long Lasting Pencil in the shade Have a Green. I'm going to use the same brush on which I had the Inglot pigment and just very lightly apply that right here in my waterline. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I actually finished it off with a lipstick that I just received today. This is my first ColourPop Luster Luxe lipstick. It's a really beautiful shade of pink. It actually swatches a little bit more mauve, but if you put it on the lips it looks quite pink, and I really like it. Just as a first impression, this feels a little bit like the Comfort Matte Formula from Urban Decay. It applied very opaque. So far it feels very comfortable and not drying, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm not sure you were able to see much of the complexity of this eyeshadow when I was doing the eye look, but I'm going to swatch these eyeshadows for you now, and then hopefully you will be able to see it a little bit better on the swatches. I currently own 6 of the premiums. One is from the old premiums collection, and the 5 new premiums I got in a little bundle, so I'm going to swatch them like 3 by 3, and I'm going to just move my hand into the light as much as possible to bring out as much of the complexity as possible. If I don't manage to, I will link Amber's video below, Amber's videos, because she has swatches of both the original premiums and the premiums too, because her swatches were absolutely phenomenal. If you want to see awesome swatches of the Dawn Eyes Multichromes, you should definitely watch Amber's video. So I am going to do my own swatches as well. Just to give it a try, but if I don't succeed, then I will definitely link Amber's video below. Okay, so the first eyeshadow we have here is Mysterious, and Mysterious is gorgeous. It shifts from a magenta, purple, to, yeah, you have an opinion on it as well. Yeah, I can hear that. To like a blue. It pretty much shifts almost into the whole rainbow, because I can even see a little bit of like a bronzy shade in it. The next one we have is Spellbinding, and Spellbinding has a gorgeous metallic green base, and it seems like it's shifting purple, like very intensely purple, and maybe even a little bit of like gold. It's really hard to tell. And the last shade over here, and the last shade we have in this trio is probably my favorite one because it is absolutely beautiful. It is called Heavenly, and Heavenly shifts from a bright metallic red to a copper orange to an acid green. This eyeshadow is like magical. I don't even know how that's possible. I cannot wait to play with this eyeshadow. I didn't want to start with it and I didn't want to do a tutorial with it because I'm going to link Amber's tutorial in the description box below because she did a beautiful tutorial with it. For this next trio we have Entrancing, Otherworldly and Captivating. Entrancing is an absolutely beautiful like forest green, which shifts a little bit into like a gold, purple and even a little bit of blue. Otherworldly is a shade that I've seen a lot of other companies do, a lot of other indie companies, but this is probably the most complex one that I've seen so far. It's like a very intense ultraviolet base with a copper bronzy shift and even a little bit of antique gold. And the last shade, and the only one that is not part of the Premiums 2 collection but is part of the original Premiums collection, is called Captivating. It's the one that I used in the tutorial, and it's an absolutely stunning royal blue which shifts into a purple and even a little bit of like a green teal. Super beautiful. So guys, this was pretty much all for this first impressions tutorial swatches kind of video of the Dawn Eyes premium eyeshadows. I hope you enjoyed it and it turned out well. Let me know if you have any questions about this and if you would like to see more tutorials with it. Definitely check out Amber's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!